Hi everyone, it's Laura Portales again, and I want to talk with you a little bit about the chapter, which is all about the selection process. When we look at the last chapter and how we went through the process to recruit candidates, selection is the next step in the hiring process and involves the actual act of choosing someone that you want to hire. So, the first step in our selection process before we even begin reviewing resumes from candidates is to determine the criteria that we're going to utilize to select that candidate. Setting the criteria is really important to do ahead of time so we make sure that we have a fair interviewing process. So, for example, criteria might be the number of years of experience or the education level or their ability to demonstrate some skill that is necessary for the job. Once we've developed that criteria, we're then going to look at reviewing application materials, including resumes. Most organizations, especially larger ones, tend to use resume parsing software, which pulls out keywords from resumes and then bundles those together so that rather than have, say, 100 resumes to look at, you may end up only having 20 to look at that meet the key criteria that you've put forth in the computer software. So once you've looked at the resumes and decided who you want to interview, you'll then go ahead and schedule the interviews. Of course, we don't want to work alone in a vacuum, so we want to have management involved and possibly potential colleagues involved that will be working with a particular candidate for this position. So once we go through the interview process, we will administer any tests. These might include drug tests or personality tests or anything along those lines. And then finally, you'll be making the offer. And at the end of the chapter, we talk a little bit about the proper process for making the offer to a candidate, but also knowing that the candidate may negotiate that offer. So we talk a little bit at the end of the chapter about how to successfully negotiate to bring that candidate on board. In addition, we also talk about in this chapter the advantage and disadvantage of internal and external candidates. And we also address some of the EEOC laws that we also addressed in the last chapter, which are very important to keep in mind as you go throughout the selection process. Hope you enjoy this chapter, and I also hope you have a good day.